So today first we'll discuss about the common source amplifiers. So in common source amplifier, so this is the other way of writing the symbol for the MOSFET, and the arrow mark is going to indicate the terminal as source, and this is the gate which comes between the two terminals, that is the gate, and the other terminal is the drain. The common source configuration is similar to common emitter configuration, where in which is analogous to the BJT, where emitter is common to both input and output part. So here in the common source amplifier, the source terminal is common to the input circuit, and this is the output circuit. And while discussing, whenever we are going to find out R in and R out, so we use uh, two words whenever we are finding out R in and R not. One is whenever we are going to find out R in, we are going to tell it is the input resistance offered by the MOSFET when looking into the circuit. When looking into the circuit. When you are going to define the R naught, that is output resistance, it is the output resistance offered by the MOSFET when looking back to the circuit. Okay, this is when you are going to explain about R naught, you will tell looking back. This you will tell it as looking into the circuit, looking back to the circuit. Okay, these are the two words which we are going to use while discussing about the resistors, different types of resistors, that is input resistance and output resistance. Here we have taken a simple circuit where we have given input Vi, which is going to be the input supply to which is connected to the gate terminal, and Rd is the resistance which is connected across the drain terminal, and sometimes Rd itself act as the complete output resistance, but sometimes we will take even the output resistance which is offered by the MOSFET drain terminal. Similar to what we were having small R naught for BJT, wherever we take the output, that terminal will be offering out some amount of position. The terminal's internal resistance is known as is expressed in terms of small R naught. Okay. In the same way, here also in MOSFET also we will be considering that. In some cases we ignore it, in some cases we are going to consider it. So this is the common source amplifier circuit, which is a simple amplifier circuit we have taken. Similar to what we are having in BJT, where we discussed about fixed bias, emitter stabilized bias, collector to base bias, and voltage divider bias. In the same way, here also in the common source amplifier also we are having the same kind of biasing techniques. But here we are just discussing about a basic one where we are not much um, expressing it in terms of any biasing technique. Rather than we are just going to discuss about taking the MOSFET in different configurations like common source, common drain, common gate configuration, and with uh, source resistance, without source resistance, like that. When you look into this circuit, you can see that the source terminal of this MOSFET is directly connected to the ground. So here we don't have any resistance which is connected. So it is directly connected. So we can simply compare this to one of the biasing technique which we studied in BJT. Can anyone just tell me which is that type of biasing technique which you have studied in BJT, where you are connecting the emitter directly to the ground? Any idea?
We have already discussed about the photodiodes and how
Nobody knows.
the noise portion is consist of the thermal light and this
One biasing technique where emitter is directly connected to the ground.
the screen is visible all of you. Anyone feel response?
Hmm?
So fixed biasing, sir.
Yes, good, correct. It's fixed biasing. In fixed biasing, the emitter terminal was directly connected to the ground. In the same way here, source terminal is directly connected to the ground. After that, you can see this box. This is the shaded area. It is just to indicate that this is the equivalent circuit of the MOSFET. The MOSFET's equivalent circuit is this portion. Okay. So don't think it is also part. It is just to indicate that this is the equivalent circuit of the MOSFET. Rest of the things are R signal, resistance, RD. These are all the external resistance which we are having, which we are going to connect externally. Apart from the MOSFET's resistance, we are going to connect these resistors externally to provide the additional input resistance and output resistance. So here the MOSFET's equivalent circuit is at the input side, since you can see that this is the gate terminal, this is the drain terminal, and this is the source terminal. And at the drain, we will be getting the current ID, and we consider that the current ID which is obtained at the drain will be maximum. Okay, and but at the same time, if you look into the circuit, where we are giving the input, we are giving the input to the gate terminal of the MOSFET. And as you know, the gate terminal is going to have the insulating layer. Gate terminal is going to have the insulating layer. Since it is having insulating layer, since it is having insulating layer, it is going to offer more resistance. Okay, so when it is offering more resistance during that time, do you think the current can pass through it? Do you think the current can pass through it? So even though the current can pass through, it will be very less, because the gate offers very high resistance. We usually tell ideally it is infinite resistance. So when it is offering infinite resistance during that time, with that infinite resistance also, because of small amount of current, getting it as input, when you look into the drain current, it will be maximum. So from this analysis, what we understand is the drain terminal is acting like a source. It is acting like a current source. It is acting like a current source. But this current source is not an independent source. It's a dependent source. That's why we use the rhombus symbol. It is a dependent current source. As I told, this is a dependent current source. It is dependent upon VGS. What is VGS? It is the voltage which is connected between the gate and the source. When you consider the voltage between the gate and the source, it is almost the same because you can see for the input voltage we are connecting here and other terminal is grounded. Source is also grounded and we are having the gate terminal. If you ignore this resistance, signal resistance, which will be comparatively small, it is almost, we can tell, the input signal, whatever we are having, will be equal to VGS. Or we can tell the voltage between gate to source will be the input voltage. In other way, the voltage between gate to source is the input voltage which is supplied to the MOSFET. Because if you consider the MOSFET connection, obviously you need to give the input here and you will be taking the output across these two terminals. Between these two, whatever you are giving, that is acting like input voltage means, which is obviously between the gate and the source also will have some voltage. So we tell that both are common. VGS is equal to VI. The input voltage, whatever we are getting here, will be equal to the potential difference between the gate terminal and the source terminal. Okay, the input voltage, whatever finally it is getting here at this point, will be equal to the potential difference between the gate and the source. Because when you consider VGS, VG minus Vs. What is the voltage across Vs? What is the voltage across the source? What is the voltage across the source? Hmm? What is the voltage across the source?
0, sir.
It is zero, no? Since it is grounded, this is zero. That becomes Vg. What is Vg? The voltage what you are getting finally across this point, which is considered as Vi. So in this way, we tell VGS is equal to Vi. This is how we get VGS is equal to Vi. Now, so this is about this part of equivalent circuit. So you can see that it is open circuited. Plus and minus, you can see that it is open circuited. May I know why it is open circuited? This is the equivalent circuit, and in equivalent circuit we are showing open circuit. That means there is no short, there is no connection here. It is shown to be open. Why? Hmm? Why it is shown like this? It would have been connected here, no? Why it is not connected like that? It is having a gap or there is no connection here. Why is that? There is a reason for that. Hmm? As I told, gate is going to offer Ideally, infinite resistance, practically mega ohms of resistance. Obviously, it is considered to be open circuit. That's why we have not connected anything. But at least tell me this. In open circuit, do you have voltage or not? In open circuit, will have voltage or not?
Yes, sir.
Will have voltage, right?
Yes, sir.
That's why we tell current can be measured in open circuit. Sorry, voltage can be measured in open circuit, but current cannot be measured.
Measure. Yes, sir.
Current should be connected in series to measure. It should be in short in a closed path. But for measuring the voltage, open circuit is also possible to measure. So based on that, this portion we have written. Then coming to the outer part, since with this condition where gate is having infinite resistance, no current is flowing, but still this drain, but this drain is giving current means we are imagining that as a current source. The drain is giving current. The two maximum current it is giving. There because if you remember the drain characteristics and all uh, gate to drain characteristics, all those things which we have studied in electronic devices. There we used to have id ids, where ids is the saturation drain current, maximum current. So this is possible in this case. So that's why we are considering this drain terminal to be the current source. So current source which is dependent upon VGS, gate to source voltage. It's a dependent current source, and obviously it should have conductivity. Then only it can give out the current. So that's why GM into VGS gives you a current which is produced across the drain, or simply you can tell it as ID. What is ID? ID is equal to GM into VGS. That we are writing it as GM into VGS. And also, you should remember one thing. Whatever we are discussing here is a N type, N channel MOSFET. So arrow mark will be downwards. If you are taking the P channel, then the arrow mark will be upwards. That you should remember in this case. After that, once we are done with this, next is external circuit RD. How it is connected? It is connected in parallel. So that's why we are connecting RD parallel. This is extra. So we are connecting it as it is. Okay. So this portion is this. And as I told, Rn is infinity. Rn is nothing but Rg. Rg is infinity. And here R naught, that is output resistance, is Rd, drain resistance. Okay. Once we are done with this, if you have understood this part, how to write this, then the current which is flowing here, say when you consider the current which is flowing across the drain resistance, because the current which is flowing across the drain resistance is the output current, right? So since the direction is in this way, the current direction is in this way, and we take the whenever you consider the uh, output circuit to find out the current across the output circuit, it will be in the opposite direction. So because if you take KVL of these two, then we get, because KVL in the sense we will be applying the KVL to this portion. Okay. So because this is V naught, whatever we are obtaining between these two terminals, that is V naught. This terminal is nothing but ground only. Minus to plus, plus V naught. So again, we'll take plus to minus. So minus RD into GM VGS, that is equal to 0. Since the current is flowing in opposite direction, finally we'll be having V naught is equal to minus GM into VGS into RD. It is actually minus of minus GM into VGS. Okay, so the current is in the opposite direction, that's why the negative sign comes here. After this, we need to find out the open circuit voltage gain. Open circuit voltage gain. So to find the open circuit voltage gain, which is represented by AV naught, it is output voltage by input. VI will take it as VI. So when we consider V naught by VI, here V naught already we have obtained. It is minus GM into VGS into RD by VI. What is VGS? What is VGS equal to? It is equal to VI. From this, we can write AV naught is equal to minus GM into VI into RD by VI. These two will get cancelled and we'll have AV naught is equal to minus GM into RD. This is the open circuit voltage gain. Okay, if you're looking into the book, so there we have given directly AV naught is equal to minus GM into RD. So how we got this? This is the step. Okay, when you substitute V naught, when you substitute VGS, then you'll get finally AV naught. Now, once you are done with this part, the next is you need to find out the overall voltage gain. To find the overall voltage gain, before that, we need to find out one more voltage gain, which is known as voltage gain proper, or it is also known as terminal voltage gain. Okay, this is the open circuit voltage gain which deals with output and the input. Here, voltage gain proper, it deals with respect to the load which is connected to the output. Suppose along with this RD, you are going to connect one more resistance. Yes. Along with this RD, if you are going to connect one more resistance, load resistance, that is RL, then this RL becomes in parallel with respect to RD. So whenever you are supposed to find out the voltage voltage gain proper, then we use our voltage divider formula only. From the voltage divider formula, AV, this is the voltage gain proper. Overall voltage gain, that is open circuit voltage gain, is AV naught into, where we have to find the gain now, we need to find the gain across the load. How much finally we need to find out the gain which is present across the load. When you consider some device across RL, now I want to know how much gain I'm getting with respect to this device. Then open circuit voltage gain into where you want to find the gain divided by the total resistance. Total resistance is RL plus R naught. R naught can also be written as RD because, as you know, R naught is acting like RD is acting like R naught output resistance. So this can be rewritten as AB naught into RL by RL plus RD, and also we will substitute for AV naught. AV naught we have got. So AV naught. Okay. Continue here. AB is equal to AV naught is minus GM into RD into RL divided by RL plus RD. When I combine this, it becomes RD into RL divided by RL plus RD. When you look into this formula, does it resembles any formula which you know? Any formula which you already know? RDRL by RL plus RD. Hmm? Does it resembles any formula which you know?
So resistance is in parallel.
Yes, when two resistances are parallel, this is the formula. So we will take it as minus GM into RD parallel RL. You can take it as this way. So the voltage gain proper or terminal voltage gain, which is with respect to RL, is this one. This is the voltage gain. Now, when you want to find out overall voltage gain, which is GB, then whenever, see, one difference you should remember when you consider the open circuit voltage gain, we take V naught by Vi. When you take overall voltage gain, you will be considering V naught by V signal. Okay, V naught by V signal will be taking. Okay, even though it will be same, but still the first step of representation will be V naught by V signal. So this will be equal to minus GM into RD parallel RL. How we wrote this is the overall voltage gain is same as the voltage gain proper AV, that is terminal voltage gain. Okay, so based on that, GV and AV both are same. We consider both of them to be same because since R Rn is infinity, that means input resistance is infinity. Obviously, whatever Vi will be we are getting, that will be equal to V signal only because Vi is nothing but gate to source voltage again. So it is whatever the voltage we are getting across this, that will be almost equal to V signal because R signal is almost neglected. This is very, it is a small amount of resistance or the opposition which is offered by the source, and that is the supply, which we call it as source. But to avoid the confusion, because here also we have source terminal in the MOSFET, we will call it a signal. Okay, R signal is negligible. We will write V signal. A signal voltage is equal to Vi, which is also equal to VGS. Since this is negligible, because the overall resistance offered by the gate itself is maximum, when you compare to that, this is negligible. So we write this, and we finally write the overall voltage gain is equal to same as the proper voltage gain or terminal voltage gain. So this is about the common source amplifier without RS, without source resistance. Okay, without source resistance. In the exam, if they are asking you explain common source amplifier, then choice is yours. You can explain with or without source resistance. But if they are going to ask you explain common source amplifier without source resistance, then you should go with this circuit. If they are asking you with source resistance, then you need to consider a resistor here. Okay, when you consider a resistor here, then again the overall equivalent circuit will again change in this case. Okay, so let us see how it is different from the common source amplifier without the source voltage. Sorry, without source resistance. Next is common source amplifier with source resistance, that is with RS. When we consider the source resistance with source resistance, we will be getting a circuit like this. You can see that it looks like a T. This and this look like a T, so it is known as T model. Equivalent circuit T model. Now, first we will be writing the equivalent circuit for the MOSFET. This is the MOSFET's equivalent circuit when RS is connected. When RS is connected. See where, if you remember in the last case, this dependent current source was directly grounded. But here it is not grounded, it is given to source resistance. Before that source resistance, it is going to, since it is not directly grounded, the internal resistance of this will come into picture, and that internal resistance will indicate it like this. So the reverse, since this is going to act like a current source, we represent it with respect to the transconductance. That's why we written 1 by Gm. And here from the gate terminal, we are, even though we are connecting it like this, because here the current source is not directly grounded, that's why we are showing it, but still the current flowing through this is zero. Even though we have connected it, the current flowing through this is zero here also, because R in is infinity. When infinite resistance is offered at the gate terminal, the current flowing through this will be zero. That's what we have mentioned here. Now, This MOSFET is represented by the current source and a transconductance or conductance which is going to have the current I. This current I is nothing but the same current which is produced by the source, that is the drain terminal at the, which is produced at the drain terminal, and this current is a dependent current source. This current source is a dependent current source, and this current source will be dependent upon the input supply, that is input supply or VGS, as we have discussed in the last circuit. The same way here also we'll be having it. Now let us see how we are going to analyze. See, here analysis means you need to find out uh, three parameters. One is the overall voltage gain, other one is open circuit voltage gain, and other one is the terminal voltage gain. AV, AV naught, GV. For all the circuits, whatever we discussed, it might be common source, common gate, common and source follower terminals. We need to derive the equations for GV naught, AV, GV, AV, AV naught. In some circuit, GV and AV will be equal. In some circuits, they will be slightly different. Okay. Now let us see the analysis of this circuit.
We have already discussed that nothing more to write in this. What is happening is right.
Now, first thing is we need to find out. We have written the equivalent circuit. So this is the equivalent circuit for the MOSFET where source resistance is present. Where the source resistance is present.
What is that person? That likes you. Or
This is the MOSFET circuit when the source resistance is considered. So we are going to have this T model for with source resistance. We'll consider directly open circuited gate terminal and the current dependent current source for without RS, but here it is with RS, so we'll consider a T model. This is the T model which we are having. So first I want to, in this case, in the last case, we have considered Vi is equal to VGS, but here we cannot consider Vi is equal to VGS directly because VGS here is VG minus Vs, and on looking to this circuit, is Vs equal to 0? Is Vs equal to 0 in this case?
No, sir.
Vs is not equal to 0. Vs has some voltage drop. That's why we cannot directly write it as VGS is equal to Vi. So that's why what we need to do is we need to apply the voltage divider rule, and then we need to find out the VGS value. So let us see how we are going to do. So in order to find the gate to source voltage, we consider the main voltage Vi into, since whatever the voltage Vi, the VGS we are having, it is a voltage between the gate and this. is the voltage between this terminal and this terminal. So we will be considering the drop across this resistance. This is the internal resistance of source terminal. This is the external resistance. So this internal resistance is expressed in terms of transconductance 1 by Gm. We can also represent it as Rs, small r. Always remember, small r indicates internal resistance. Capital R indicates external resistance. Okay. Now, if you want to find out the gate to source voltage, we need to find out the drop across this resistance that will give you the gate to source voltage. That's why main voltage, that is main voltage, whatever we are getting across this, that is our main voltage Vi into, we need to find out the drop across this. So that's why 1 by Gm divided by 1 by Gm plus Rs. Because along with this resistance is also connected. That's why according to the voltage divider rule or the formula, we need to consider the total sum of resistance. After this, here Rs, whatever the source resistance we are having now, this Rs will be usually, this Rs will be called as the source degeneration resistance. Is also called as source degeneration resistance because it is going to act as a negative feedback for the circuit, and this Rs can be used to reduce the gate to source voltage so that the nonlinear distortions will be avoided. When nonlinear distortions are avoided, then in that case, when you consider the output and the input um, voltages or the transfer characteristics, it will be in a linear fashion. Otherwise, it will be in a parabolic fashion like this. Actually, ideally, we expect it to be like this, but we will be getting like this. So, by properly tuning the RS value, we can try to make this parabolic curve into a straight curve. That is what the meaning here is for the degeneration resistance. Right. After this, as you know, basically FETs are voltage controlled devices, right? They are the voltage controlled devices, whereas BJT has current controlled devices. So in this FET, even though the voltage, whatever you are applying, is going to control the flow of current, we need to find out the total the current which is going to be yield during this process or which is being generated in this process. So for that we are having V naught is equal to minus I into RD. That gives you the, because I is the current which is across the current source, that is across the drain terminal into RD. The same current, the drain current will be flowing across RD. That's why I into RD. And across RD only we are finding out output voltage. That's why we have taken V naught is equal to I into RD. Since the direction of the current and the loop we are taking with respect to, we are taking the outermost loop, this loop we are taking in order to find out the V naught, obviously we need to apply KVL to the outermost circuit. So when you apply that, you'll be getting negative. In rough way, if you want to remember, always remember in BJT, all CE configuration will get negative sign. In FET, all CS configuration will get negative sign in its gain. In the gain, it gets negative. So gain is negative in the sense it doesn't mean the value is negative. It indicates that the output and the input signals are out of phase. They are having a phase difference of 180 degree. That is the meaning here. Okay, coming back to this, V naught is equal to minus I into RD. So again, to find out the current value by applying the Ohm's law to this particular circuit, VI by total resistance which we are having across this. Because when you know that I is the current which is flowing through this, so we can take 1 by GM plus RS. So that is equal to GM by 1 plus GM into RS into VI. This is the current. When you want to find out AV naught, which is open circuit voltage gain, which is V naught by VI, just substitute for the V naught whatever we have got. When you substitute that, GM into VI by 1 plus GM into RS into RD divided by VI. Where are we? VI will get cancelled and we are left out with minus GM RD by 1 plus GM into RS. So coming to one more equation, that is terminal voltage gain. So terminal voltage gain, the only addition what we are going to consider is load resistance. Remember, terminal voltage gain will have load resistance along with it. So the same thing, minus GM into RD parallel RL divided by 1 plus GM into RS. So since Rin is infinity and Vi is almost equal to V signal, as we know that input impedance is infinity, input voltage and V input voltage whatever we are getting here and this will be same, ignoring R signal, our overall gain will be equal to the terminal voltage gain. So this is about the common source configuration, common source amplifier with source resistance, and the earlier what we did was without source resistance. These two are very important from the point of examination as well as from the point of internal. Okay. So after this, we are having the next one, common gate amplifier, common gate amplifier. So this we will do it in the next class. Okay, the next one is common gate amplifier. When the common gate amplifier, the gate will be the common terminal between the input circuit and the output circuit. And in this case, the input will be given to the source terminal. So input is given through the source. So whatever the input resistance which is offered by the source terminal, that will be the input resistance, and the output will be collected across the drain. And you can see that the gate is grounded. That indicates it is in the common gate configuration. Now in this case, we need to write the equivalent circuit for the first, the MOSFET. Then rest of the things are just the attachments which we are going to write. Again, here also we are going to write. We are going to use the T model. Since the drain terminal is at the top, we'll be writing a current dependent current source, and we are since we are having the emitter terminal, sorry, the source terminal is being given with the input signal. We are going to indicate the small amount of resistance which is offered by the source resistance, and we are going to indicate it in terms of transconductance, that is 1 by gm. And between this drain and the source, we are having a gate terminal which is being grounded. Okay, so this is the T model which we are writing, and the gate terminal is the grounded, and the signal resistance is given to the source, and RD is given to the drain terminal, and this is going to indicate the equivalent circuit for the MOSFET, and rest of the things are the attachments. And since we are taking the output across the drain resistance, it is R naught. The R naught, that is output resistance, is considered to be RD. And since input is given through the source, and obviously since the source is going to offer the least resistance, we are going to take it as 1 by gm. So this is about the connections which we are doing. Now again, we need to here mainly when we take with respect to different configurations like compound source, common gate, and source follower. Here mainly we need to compare in these three configurations whether you are getting the overall the voltage gain greater than 0 or less than 0, and how actually the input resistance is acting. Is it large, or is it minimum? If it is minimum, why it is minimum, what makes it to be minimum? And also we need to consider, I mean, I'm just telling about the analysis part, what and all you need to analyze in a given circuit. What about the output resistance? Is the output resistance is almost equal to the drain resistance, or the output resistance is small? That we need to consider. And if you are going to consider the internal output resistance, then whether the voltage gain is going to reduce, or the overall output resistance is going to reduce or increase. So that we need to consider. So this is what we have learned in characterizing characterizing of amplifiers. Here also we are going to analyze the same. Please remember in the earlier derivations, whatever we did, the derivations in the sense the analysis of common source amplifier we did. There we were discussing about the three types of gain: the overall gain, open circuit gain, and the voltage gain proper, or the terminal voltage gain. Here in this common gate amplifier, mainly we are concentrating about the open circuit gain. And one thing you should remember, common source amplifier is the amplifier which is used for amplification purpose. Even though we have common gate amplifier, this is we are just analyzing it to know how best it can, or what is the maximum gain that it can give out. But when you want to design an amplifier, we prefer common source amplifier. Similarly, in when we are using BJT also, we used to prefer common emitter configuration, CE mode. We usually tell the amplifier will be in CE mode. So, so with all this basic information, so let us uh, analyze it. So in analysis, we are going to take the input resistance Rin. So as from the circuit itself, we know that the input resistance is with respect to the source terminal as we are giving the input to the source, and it is given as 1 by Gm. The inverse of the transconductance will give you the input resistance. So it is usually few hundred ohms, and we overall will tell that it is having low input impedance. And when you are going to consider an amplifier, the first thing when you the first thing which you consider in with respect to the resistance is at the input side you should have high resistance or high input impedance. Output side, we'll consider low output impedance or low resistance. This is what a best amplifier should perform always. But when you take the common gate amplifier, we can see that the input impedance is very low. When input impedance is low, what happens is it is going to take maximum input. So when it takes maximum input, there will be no chance of amplifying it again, because here you can see that the input is taken across the source and output is given across the drain. And majority of the cases, we tell that IS is approximately equal to ID because the gate current is negligible. So we tell that the source current is almost equal to the drain current. When you are giving same current and you are taking same current again, then such type of amplifier will not be so much useful in our applications. So that's why we will not prefer the common gate configuration for the amplifier for amplifying purpose. But here we are analyzing it and we are trying to show uh, its characteristics. So coming to this again, so since Rin is 1 by the input resistance is 1 by Gm, and V naught the output voltage, it is again with respect to we need to consider across RD output voltage always will be taken across RD, or if you are having RL, that will be considered as RD parallel RL. So here we are considering RD. So RD is the output resistance as of now. So it will be minus I into RD. This is again by applying KVL to this particular loop, and since the current is flowing in the opposite direction, we will be having minus I into RD. And again, if you want an equation for current, we go for Ohm's law. According to the Ohm's law, voltage by the resistance. So if we consider this particular loop, we will be having Vi by 1 divided by Gm, because 1 divided by Gm is our input resistance Rin. This is our Rin. So and Vi is the input voltage. So input voltage by input resistance will give you the current which is flowing through uh, this part of the circuit. And since we are considering that across the source only we are giving the input, so the current which is flowing through this will be experiencing Vi. That's why we have taken Vi. And since we are considering this as the source internal source resistance 1 by Gm, we have taken it as 1 by Gm. And since we are giving input across the source, it is 1 by Gm itself will be acting as input resistance. Now after this, next is the open circuit voltage gain. In the open circuit voltage gain, as we know, we will be taking output voltage by input voltage, and by substituting the output voltage and the input voltage formula, or you can just substitute V naught. So when you substitute V naught, you'll get minus I into RD by Vi, and when you substitute I value, it will be minus Vi into Rd by 1 by Gm divided by Vi. So this to get cancelled and you'll be having Gm into Rd. So since we are here, yeah, so minus we are having, and minus to the minus we will be getting the plus, since already we are having the minus here with respect to the V naught, it will be Gm into Rd, and we are taking the output across R naught. So R naught output resistance will be approximately equal to Rd, or exactly equal to Rd. After this, if you take Vi by V signal, that is what the input voltage which is given by the signal generator, and Vi, the voltage which is given to the source. This is the voltage which is given by the signal generator. This is the voltage which is actually given to the MOSFET. When you consider these two, during that, this is basically to find out the level of attenuation. Attenuation means the reduction in gain. So to what extent the gain is being reduced. Suppose you are, if it is, we are expecting, we are having a gain of 10. That means gain of 10 means output is 10 times the input. But when you find the, when you want to find the actual, whether the particular circuit is acting like an attenuator or it is going to give the gain, during that time we'll just consider how much voltage you are giving to the actual part of the device, and how much actually the signal which is being given from the supply. So Vi by V side, V signal, that means voltage which is coming from the signal generator. So let us, in order to find out this, we are going to again apply the voltage divider formula. From voltage divider formula, Vi is equal to voltage from the signal generator into through which it is being passed, the signal is passed, it is passed through Rin divided by Rin plus R signal. So Vi is the voltage which is across the source. Obviously, as according to our earlier case, if Vi is our input voltage, Rin is our input resistance. So if you want to find out Vi, then you need to find out the drop across Rin. So in order to find the drop across Rin, we will apply voltage divider rule. And for this entire circuit, this portion of the circuit, signal voltage is the main supply, and Vi is the drop across Rin. Rin is this one, divided by total sum of resistance. So now Vi by V signal, that is equal to Rin by Rin plus signal resistance. When you are going to find, when you are going to find this, if your value is lesser, if your value is, if it is going to come in terms of some decimal values, fractional values like point with a decimal point like 0.01, 0.002, like this, that indicates that the whatever the signal which is given to the device is attenuated. That is, the signal strength has decreased. So this kind of configurations are not useful for the amplification purpose, because basically amplifier is used to amplify the signal, but here it is reducing the strength of the signal at the initial level only. So this kind of circuits will not support the amplification. So this is how we are going to analyze the common gate amplifier. So that's why the common gate configuration will not be used in the amplification purpose. But please remember, this is just for analysis purpose. We have tried for common gate amplifier. But practically speaking, we will always use common source amplifier. After this, the next one is source follower. Always we may not require uh, the amplification, and also sometimes we don't require attenuation also. See here in this case, whatever we just now discussed, the signal is getting attenuated. That means this common gate configuration can be used for the purpose of reducing the gain. But when you are going to when you want a signal to be same as it is, it should not be neither it should be reduced nor it should be increased, then we go for common source common drain amplifier, or we'll go for source follower. So in the both the names it can be asked source follower or common drain amplifier. So this is it's a other name which is they can ask in either ways. The source follower is similar to emitter follower, which is in BJT, bipolar junction transistor. Whenever you take the output across the emitter, it is going to give unity gain. If you take example of BJT, okay, even though I'm just taking this example of C configuration only, I'm taking just to give you an example. Even though it is CE configuration, but if you are taking the output across emitter, then it will be acting like emitter follower. So here it will be having unity gain. Unity gain means it will not add any gain. Whatever it is there, that it is going to maintain. So if you are having 2 volt at the input, you will get 2 volt at the output. But for the same CE, if you take across the collector, it will be the amplified version of the input. That's why in BJT, we will take the output across the collector, not across the emitter. If you take it across the emitter by mistake, if you take the voltage across the emitter, then it is going to act like a follower circuit. Whatever the input you give, the same output you will be getting. In the same way here, in common source follower circuit or common drain amplifier circuit, it is also going to act as a follower circuit where input and output will be same. So this kind of amplifier circuits or this kind of circuits can be used as a temporary storage device, or it can be used as a buffer to just to add some delay to the signal. We can use this kind of circuit. Other than this kind of circuits will not be useful in amplification purpose. So they can be used in providing some delay to the circuit, or if you want to maintain some constant voltage or constant level of the signal in a particular circuit. But if you are expecting any gain, then this is not the circuit which you should use. Again, as we discussed, since the drain is common, the drain is grounded. And here also you can see that input is given to the gate terminal of the MOSFET, and we are taking the output across the source. And here we are having a current source, current dependent the source where one terminal is the grounded, and on the other way, similar to the previous case, so we are taking the source terminal and its resistance is taken as 1 by Gm. We are expressing it in terms of transconductance. And since we are taking output across the emitter, the source, we are going to consider the external resistance across the across the source terminal, not across the drain terminal, because drain terminal is grounded. When drain terminal is grounded, and it is common to the both the input and the output circuit, will not be getting any output. So in common drain amplifier or common drain configuration of a MOSFET, the first thing we consider is Rin is equal to infinity. Rin is infinity because input is given through the gate terminal, and as you know, gate terminal is going to offer infinite resistance. That's why we are taking Rin is equal to infinity. Now we need to find out the voltage gain of this. To find the voltage gain, see here, to make you understand that the output is taken across the source terminal, not across the drain terminal. Here it is purposefully written as RD. That means RD is usually whenever we take the configuration, RD is usually taken as our output resistance. Now this RD is connected across the source, not across the drain. Here, if you get the confusion, you can make this RD as RL. You can consider this RD as RL, or if you can retain it as RD only. Okay, anything you can take RD is equal to RL. So both I have given, if you have the book, both I have given in the circuit. I have given it as RD. In the equation, I have given it as RL. Now, when you want to find out the voltage gain, it is the first step is output by input. Now I want to find out the voltage. So where I want to find the voltage, the output voltage, I want to find the output voltage across RD. RD is nothing but RL. So for this RD or to this RL, the main supply is VI. VI is the main supply, and we need to find out the output across RL divided by total resistance, whatever we are having. We want to find out the voltage across this RD because that is the voltage V0 or output voltage V0. So the total resistance in this will be RL plus 1 divided by GM. And here for the open circuit voltage gain, we are going to take RL will be acting as infinity because, as I have told, whenever you take the output across the source terminal, the open circuit voltage gain will be equal to 1. If you want this should be equal to 1, then obviously your RL should be equal to infinity. So that's why we are taking RL will be infinity. Now, when you are going to consider RL as infinity, and if you are going to apply Thevenin's theorem, to this portion, and you can see that they are parallel to each other. When they are parallel to each other, and you want to find out the total output resistance, you know that whenever two resistors are parallel to each other and two resistors are parallel to each other, during that case, the resistance which is very less, which is having very less value, will be the actual resistance. So as we have taken the RL or RD as infinity, obviously the output resistance will be 1 by GM. It will be 1 by GM, will be your output resistance. And for Thevenin's theorem, you know to how we find out the resistance. We set the input voltage to zero by removing the voltage source and short circuiting it. We take when we short circuit it, obviously the input voltage becomes zero. In that case, since RL or RD is too high compared to 1 by GM, so the effective output resistance will be equal to 1 by GM. Once we are done with this, the next step is to find out the overall gain, and the terminal voltage gain. So the overall gain and terminal voltage gain in this case will become RL divided by RL plus 1 by GM. So this will be this, as I have already told how we got this AV V naught by taking V naught by VI. So in this case, since the input resistance is infinite because we are giving the signal to the gate terminal, the input voltage Vi will be equal to V signal, that is signal generator voltage, and input voltage both will be same. So the overall voltage gain will be same as terminal voltage gain in this. So usually 1 by GM is typically small, since that's why uh, R naught will be equal to 1 by GM, since RL or RD is considered to be infinity. After this, the next part is about they sometimes they'll ask about comparison. Compare the different configurations. So in the common, we consider four major factors for comparison. One thing is with respect to the terminal voltage. So when if the here uh, in the common source, if AV, if you are going to get AV is less than zero, then it is going to be degraded by RS. If AV is greater than zero, it is degraded by RS. But here the source follower, in the source follower, AV will be in the range of 0 to 1. But here in the common gate configuration, it is degraded by RS, and here also it is degraded by RS. When it is considered to be with respect to input resistance, so input resistance is large with respect to common source configuration because input is given through gate. In common gate configuration, since um, you are going to give the input through source, so we'll be having small input resistance. Again in source follower, since it is given, the input is given through gate terminal, again Rin will be large. In common source configuration, output resistance will be equal to Rd. In common gate, output resistance will be equal to Rd. In source follower, since the output resistance is equal to 1 by Gm, as just now we saw, since it is equal to 1 by Gm, it is considered to be small. R out is considered to be small. R naught decreases AV and R out, so that is the uh, internal output resistance will be decreasing the terminal voltage gain and R output. And here also R naught decreases AV and R out. Here also it is going to decrease. And I was telling, seen looking into the drain and seen looking in. So always whenever you take looking in, it is with respect to the input impedance. So impedance seen looking into the drain can be boosted by source degeneration. So in the morning class, we have discussed by properly using RS, we can reduce VGS, gate to source voltage, and such that our output can be uh, controlled. The output can be controlled and it is going to yield a better current. So this is about the different differences between the amplifier topologies. After this, we are having MOSFET internal capacitance and high frequency model. So we are having some 2 or 3 topics in this chapter. So that will end up this chapter so that we can take up in the next class. So probably